Parisians have done it. Ronaldinho, Cavani, Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. There has been so many names that have came to PSG once they was taken over by the Qataris and failed to bring that illustrious Champions League. They've dominated League One for time. You've had the likes of David Beckham play there as well, and they could never win that Champions League, but it's finally happened, and the Qataris have had to realistically sell their main man in order to achieve success. But it just shows that a footballing project, for the most part, is better than just having one great world-class player and not working as a team. They tracked back, they went well, and this Parisian team, are they the next big thing? People are alluding to the fact that they could dominate Europe. I'm not too sure about that, but for this year, they have 100% deserved winning that trophy. Oh, PSG, your history has finally got some glory. We've had Man City Oil Club and now PSG Oil Club. The oil completes have done it, haven't they? They completed football because they have gone and lifted that UCL trophy. Whatever you say, I guess, about them being oil run, they have gone and lifted Europeans' best competition, and it's finally worked out, hasn't it? Luis Enrique, as I said, we've had the history of Ronaldinho, Ibra, and all them man realistically going and going and going, and even Messi couldn't do it, and that team anyway at that point was just a shambles, to be fair, and they've always thrown money. This time they have gone and got but he's not good. He's not a world-class star, is it? And they've thrown money when they had Mbappe, etc. But now they've finally been wise with it and not just gone, here's money at the situation. Mbappe's gone and that team has been built to succeed. Obviously winning the treble, Luis Enrique has done fantastically, and then now topping it off with the UCL trophy is amazing, and they've been building up for this for ages. It's a similar story with Man City, how it was a matter of time. Whether you like it or not, unfortunately, money in football does get you a lot of things, and PSG have been the ones that have banged on the door the most, ahead of Man City in certain aspects, and they've just never been able to complete it. Their league will always be classed as Farmers League, but listen, they did beat all the English teams, so Luis Enrique can, I guess, say what he wants, and for now, he will be happy and living life on the highway. And it's all down to that man, Luis Enrique. He becomes the second person to win a treble for two different clubs, just under Pep Guardiola. He's done it for Barcelona and Man City, and you've had another guy do it for Barcelona and PSG. I think Luis Enrique has been a great manager, and obviously the stuff he's gone through over the last few years with his daughter, it was really nice to see him enjoy a win and for the fans to appreciate him. He has built a team that works together, tracks back. That front three have been devastating. Number 7 has been absolutely insane, and he is probably my favourite out of the 3 or 4 that they have. You know, they've got Barcola on the bench, Zamar, Emery. I'm butchering some of these names, but they've got great depth, and Dembele, Doué, etc. have been phenomenal. That midfield working really well. You can go through the whole team, and there's some world-class players in there, but that is what they are, a team. Whereas when they did have Mbappe first off, it was all about Mbappe. Then they tried to build around him and add more world-class stars with Neymar, Messi, etc. The one thing that they don't provide, especially that Messi and Neymar was a bit older, is that work rate, and they did their business up at the pitch, but there was about a 6 against 9 at times when they was defending, and PSG got close so many times with Tommy Tuchel losing against Bayern Munich in the final, and they'd be in semi-finals, but this year was their year, and Luis Enrique wrung it home. What a man. Marquinhos lifting the trophy after being there for so long. It's just a fairy tale ending, or is it? Because they're realistically just made of oil. And so PSG really did become the tale of the season in the Champions League this year. You cannot believe it though, that Aston Villa were the team that really had them on the ropes, and if it weren't for a few really good Donnarumma saves, it could have potentially gone to extra time. But they got through it, and they got through on penalties to Liverpool. When you get to the Champions League final, you do need slices and strokes of luck, but they almost made their own luck. They dominated Liverpool in them 2 legs. Villa, especially at the PSG game, they played very, very well. And so at the final, they was just able to dominate. I was expecting a little bit of a better performance from Inter, but they just keeled over realistically. A few mistakes. It was a very unlucky from DeMarco, that second goal, etc, etc. Barcelona might have gave them a good game, but Inter did deserve it, and this team now, especially Inter, have lost 2 Champions League finals in what, like 4 years? Pretty crazy, but it does show that they are on the up. They did lose the fucking Serie A as well, which is very, very unlucky. Scott McTominay is smoking on their tears. For PSG though, Luis Enrique was lovely, realistically. That little, what do you call them? The tifos of him and his daughter is crazy. And for him to win it again, it was very, very nice and very, very thoughtful from the PSG fans. Although they do seem to be smashing up their own city, I do not get that. You've won the Champions League and you decide to fucking break into Greg's and nick a sausage roll. What are you doing? And then there's cars blowing up. It's like there's a zombie apocalypse going on out there. But besides that, from a team perspective, this is the best team they have had working together. There's no egos in there. There's no one thinking that they're better than each other. Their fluidity is crazy, and I think that's the best thing. Kvaratskhelia starts on the left, he can end up on the right. Hakimi can end up from right back to left back, etc., etc. And it's free-flowing, and that free-flowing football is what Luis Enrique loves to play. He almost played it under Barcelona as well, to be fair, when you have Messi, Neymar, etc. going round and round. And in the end, no team could stop them. They deserve that Champions League trophy, and for now, will they go on to win a load more trophies? I think they'll definitely be able to give it a good go. There's so many teams, though, that can potentially win it, I think. I don't necessarily think PSG are the best team ever. They currently could be considered easily, but I think you put them against Barcelona. I think you put them against maybe Man City back in when they're better. Maybe Liverpool give it a better go. I don't know, but there is not harder teams. There is teams on the similar level. Saying that though, when you watch them against Liverpool and the way they dominated Liverpool, that game was crazy. If they did that against the likes of, maybe they go and do it next season, they do it against Bayern Munich, do it against City, etc. So many other teams that they could do it against. Wow, it's just take a breath for a second. You would be like, hang on a second, they are cooking. And Luis Enrique definitely can make himself a little broth, maybe a little bit of a dessert, because he's deserved it. And that Champions League trophy can never be taken away from them. And that's the thing, PSG are technically the OG oil money club, aren't they? They started around the 1960s, didn't they? They're a fairly new team, but just shows in this day and age what money can do. You've got Saudi doing it, you had China a few years ago with bags and bags of money, and you've got all these owners coming into the Prem. It's the way football and the modern game is moving forward, unfortunately. But on that note, Enrique, as long as he stays at PSG for a couple of years, I think he has built a great team who can contend in Europe for a while. You've got them, the likes of Liverpool, Man City if they come back, Real Madrid, Barcelona. They're all in the mix. I don't think PSG are going to go on and dominate Europe like a lot of people are saying. I know the scoreline was huge, but let's be real, Inter Milan were very, very shit that day. PSG were also very good, but it was a final of domination, a great exciting final, but one in which I think if Barcelona were there or someone else, they'd give PSG more of a game. Aston Villa are the team that gave PSG the most of a hard game, so that's saying something, but it will be interesting to see what happens next season and the few seasons going on, because PSG really have that belief now that they can go all the way. So will it be Real Madrid next season? Will it be Liverpool, PSG? Will Barcelona finally get that UCL back in such a long time? Who knows? But for Luis Enrique and his PSG players, it was a day to remember. And if you do look at what could come next, it could be frightening for sure. I don't necessarily think they are going to be that team that is almost like a Real Madrid winning UCL after UCL after UCL. They're definitely in the mix. If I look at this Champions League, for example, Real Madrid in terms of the sheer players that they have, like, are ridiculous. But they never really play, I don't think, to their full potential, especially this season. They scrape through games. But you've got to put Real Madrid in the mix. You've got to put PSG in there. Liverpool, definitely, the way they've strengthened. Man City are probably going to be back. And, of course, Barcelona. They're the five that I'd really think, okay, they could go and win it. And imagine if you had a semi-final with 4 of those teams in it. It'd be fantastic, and they've got great players in all of those teams. So I don't know if PSG would definitely be the team to go on and do a Barcelona or Real Madrid where they dominate for years and years. But the team is fluid. The team is a team which they have never had. Like, I remember when Messi, Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe and Neymar were there. Yes, Neymar realistically, he hasn't done as well as he. Mbappe's provided the numbers for PSG. Messi did play well, but it was the tracking back that really hurt him. All three of the front three, realistically, not necessarily being bothered, but I think you can only afford one player to do that in your team. You look at Messi when he's at Barcelona, he was the one who would not track back. You look at Mbappe when he was on his own at PSG, and then they brought Neymar into the mix. You can't have two, and the likes of Salah for Liverpool this season not tracking back as much. It does work, but not with all three. I know Neymar and Messi played together, but it was a bit of a different dynamic, if you get what I'm saying. And so with three, it just didn't work. And now, having the time to build a team, they've got a team for the future as well. They're all young. They are all looking like they're great prospects. I love Cavasqualia. Don't know how to say his name, but he's a great player. And I thought for Georgia, when he was in the Euros, he played very, very well. So we'll have to see what they do. But lifting the title and lifting the Champions League, I think it's a very, very good start. And Marquinhos has finally added that to his collection. You know, he deserves it. And now, can he go win the World Cup? I don't think so. Brazil are in another mess, aren't they? And Ancelotti's over there. With the PSG, the future looks good, and the future could mean more silverware to come.